Unless you've been living in another planet the past year, you've come to understand that we are living in the age of movements and uprisings. My goal with this video is to provide a thinking framework on how to start a cultural movement. Whether you're leading a company or an organization or igniting a startup, you can identify, crystallize, align with, or sponsor or spark a movement. Once you have a movement, you can do anything in a fragmenting media environment. Movements can be used for good or evil. Brands can be movement builders, but a movement is not inherently a good thing or a bad thing. It's a force. So what do you want to be a force for? Today, everyone seeks meaning in his or her lives. More than any generation in the history of the world, millennials and their younger sisters and brothers love brands and organizations that are full of meaning. Brands that tackle the bigger issues. For 25 years now, I've studied movements across the world. I've written a best-selling book called Uprising. I host an iTunes podcast, also called Uprising. I've developed movement strategies for brands such as Emirates Airlines, Google, Pfizer, Jim Beam, and Mahindra, one of the most powerful companies in India. Here are 10 things you need to do to start a movement. Number 1, define the change you want to make. This should include the behavior you want your customers or your audience to have in relationship to your brand, or what kind of cultural change you want to drive in the world. This change should be relevant to your business challenge, and of course, it should be relevant to your brand purpose. Number 2, understand the people you want to bring into your movement. What's important to them? What's important in their lives? Look for fundamental human insights and how these insights link back to your brand's purpose. Why do people behave as they do? What really gets under the skin? What moves them? Number 3, be purpose-inspired and benefit-driven. People long to be part of something bigger than themselves. Your movement idea needs to be true to your brand purpose and have a strong potential to become a movement. Number 4, take a stand for something or against something. In these volatile times, brands actually should become more willing to take a stand for something or a stand with someone. Otherwise, you risk becoming totally irrelevant in a revolutionary world. Number 5, create a monster. Remember all those Hollywood movies when the monster comes running into the village? What happens? Everyone rallies, goes home and grabs their pitchforks and fights off the monster. Number 6, insightfully provoke discussion. Your goal is to overcome a state of complacency, a state of indifference. This requires you to turn deep human insights into provocation. Number 7, create must-share content and sticky language. We want to stir our audience's souls. So consumers, people, must want to share what you write, your content. Your movement must also have memorable language that the culture can adopt. Number 8, influence the influencers. Get great content to your most passionate fan base and to those influential people who could really influence the mass, the consumer, the great society. And number 9, have a simple call to action. Be clear on what you're calling your consumers to do. What must they do to be part of your movement? And finally, number 10, be provocative in places where your people are. These are platforms where people will be disproportionately receptive to your movement messaging and where your influencers can help explode your message to the masses. Welcome to the age of movements. You can ignore this phenomenon and as a result become irrelevant in a fast-changing world, or you can use the force of movements to grow your business and in the process change the world.